Alright guys, this is Luvia, my Pamphobedia species McCullough. Now I thought based off some molts, I was pretty sure that Luvia was a male. However, this past molt, Luvia darkened up a lot and became, well, you'll see here, a lot darker. Which doesn't necessarily mean that Luvia is not a boy. It just, I was expecting more purple, which would then indicate indicate that it was male, but they might not get that purple until they mature. So Luvia could still be a boy, but that really remains to be seen. But let's drop a worm in here. I'm sure Luvia. Yep, there we go. Look at that light color on the chelicerae, the fangs. It's very interesting. You can for sure see those markings on top now. Wow. Very beautiful. Now let's see if Luvia will give us a dance. Some good fang action there. Some really good fang action. Luvia's not being nice. Alright, this is my Orphanachus philippinus, also known as the Philippine tangerine. This one's name is Clementine. Let us find an appropriately sized mealworm here. Now, I will say that Clementine definitely prefers crickets, but doesn't necessarily hate mealworms, just typically doesn't go after them right away. Usually takes a bit of squirming from the mealworm for Clementine to decide. Yep, there we go. Can see the orange on those legs. Hopefully that mealworm will move again. No, decided against it maybe. Like I said, Clementine can be picky. Isn't a big fan of worms, but typically I try, and if Clementine just refuses, then I might go out to the local pet store and pick up a couple crickets, because I have a couple tarantulas that they're okay with worms, but will pounce on a cricket right away. But Clementine sometimes will think about it, say no, change her mind, go back after it, so I'll just go ahead and leave it in there. And I'll let you guys know if Clementine decides to take it. Alright, here is the new enclosure that I put Faux into. Faux is my Selenocosmia covericki. So we will see if this one is hungry. Just go ahead and see if what happens if we put it up there. Worm's not helping us out. I see some feet. Don't know if you guys can see that there. And there we go. And that is how a Selenocosmia species eats. Dragged down into the tunnel of doom. Alright, I'll add some water and we will move on to the next. But that was Faux Selenocosmia covericki. Alright, up next is Gladys. Gladys is my Chromatopelma cyanopubescens, or green bottle blue. Gladys is usually a pretty good eater. If I could just get a super worm here. It wouldn't run away on me. So let's go ahead and watch Gladys eat. Like I said, usually a good eater. Never wastes any time. Beautiful tarantula. I will say one thing with this new camcorder. I love its zoom feature. I do love how easy it is to use. But I do think the colors are a little muted. Sometimes when I'm showing off some tarantulas, I look back at the footage and I'm just like, wow, that looks a little washed out. And it could be also my lighting, but I was using this lighting with the other camera as well. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that, guys. This one, the camcorder is definitely way more convenient because it autofocus, so I don't not have to manually focus everything. Yeah, it's just a lot easier. It has a viewing screen, so I can see what I'm recording. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just have to use this until I look into like an even better camcorder, I guess. But yeah, this is Gladys, GBB, suspect male, I believe, but only time will tell. Let's move on to the next. Alright, here's another member of the Always Hungry Club. This is Quill. Quill is my Grammostola pulchra, or Brazilian black. Quill looks a little plump, so I'm thinking we might just give Quill a small mealworm instead of a full-size superworm. Oh, I didn't mean to hit Quill in the face with it. My bad, Quill. but looking a little plump. This is also a suspect male, unfortunately, considering how hard these are to come by lately, in the United States anyway. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that I would get a female, but, you know, first try. Can't always get lucky. I think we might get a little bit of a dance here. Quill is one that likes to get the food in its mouth and then just walk all over the place. Not really dancing, not really laying down a web, just literally walking everywhere. Now it's going to try to walk right out of the enclosure too. Here's a good close-up shot of Quill. I'm going to go ahead and put this lid back on the enclosure and we'll move on to the next before Quill decides to climb out. So yeah, alright, this is one I don't think I've featured on a video yet. This is a newly acquired Lasiodora paherabahana, or salmon pink bird eater. This one is a juvenile female that I acquired recently. I'm thinking that she is in pre-molt. Let's go ahead and give a good, better look here. I'm thinking she's in pre-molt. I've already tried to feed her once, but we're going to go ahead and try it again. See if we get any reaction out of her. She's not necessarily very plump, so she could just be one that doesn't eat all the time. But from what I know, what I've heard about this species, that would be kind of uncommon. But let's see if she'll go after a worm. Maybe I should have put in a worm that was going to move a little bit more. We have decided to name this one, well, my mom actually decided to help me out. She thought that this one should be named Coral. Insert Walking Dead jokes here. But, you know, if your mom, who is scared of spiders, typically takes an interest in your spider hobby and decides to give you a name for a spider, you use it. Alright, let's see here if I can... Scared me. Let's go ahead and put the... Oh, now she's scared. Let me see if I can put another worm in there, one that's hopefully a little bit more alive. Ooh, nope, threat posture, not in frame. Oh. Now she's gonna gobble it. Alright, I guess I'll go ahead and leave that other worm in there in case she gets hungry or wants that one. Yeah, I dropped the tongs because I didn't want her running up them. Didn't expect that. She's been like super calm. Even when I rehoused her and everything, she was super calm, so I don't know. But yeah, that's Coral. Salmon pink bird eater. And we'll move on. Alright, next up is my Ceratogyrus darlingii, named Oni. Also known as the rear-horned baboon. It's going to come out backwards to grab that worm. And down it goes. Wonder, let's see here. Since that one was kind of smaller mealworm, because I don't have very many large mealworms, let's go ahead and put in a second one, and we'll see if Boney will take two. Guess not. Well, maybe. Especially if it keeps moving right towards the burrow. Oh, and he's like, I got my mouth full already, but that's a little hard to resist. Well, Oni's taking a look here. Let's see if we can get a good look. Very, very beautiful species. When they get a little bit bigger, well, Oni's still thinking about it. When they get a little bit bigger, both the sea darlingy and the sea marshally, both get this like really dark black around their eyes. It looks like they have like mascara or something on. I think it looks really, really cool. This worm's still making a case to get eaten. Oni's definitely thinking about it. I bet if I picked that worm and dropped it close, Oni would go for it. But given my last interaction with coral attacking the tongs, I don't think I want to put the tongs in there. Definitely not with this species. So we'll just leave that one in there. I'm sure Oni will get it later, and we will move on. Alright, next up is Rouge, my Grammostola rosea red color form, with the most webbed up rosea enclosure you're probably likely ever to see. She kind of went crazy. Which is fine though. Let's see if she will go for, this is kind of a large superworm, but you know, she's pretty crazy. Maybe she'll go for it. Definitely interested. Yep, there she goes. Crunch. This lighting's not really doing her any justice. She's extremely, extremely pretty with the pink hairs. some water to her enclosure here. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. There you go. Yeah, she's extremely, I mean, let me see if this, if I can get a different angle here. Yeah, it doesn't really show. She looks more brown on camera here, but in real life, all that real light brown is just like pinkish red. Very, very, very pretty. But yeah, that is Rouge with, like I said, the most webbed up enclosure. But we will move on. Okay, next up we have my Brachypelma albopilosum named Wooly. Let's see if we can't find a worm for Wooly. This one is a good eater, so doesn't quite matter. Pretty much anything that gets thrown in will immediately get eaten like that. Zoom in here and give you a good look at Wooly. A little skittish, but I think that will disappear as it gets a little bit bigger. Ooh, see what I mean? Just a little bit of water and Wooly got very scared. I'm putting that butt a little bit up in the air. This one is also getting rehomed very soon. This last molt, Wooly, I think, outgrew the enclosure a bit. So, are we gonna put our food in the water dish? Is that what we're doing? I'm thinking so. Yep, putting the food right in the water dish. Nope, just walking over the water dish. Or going back. Okay, Wooly, I don't know what you want. But, alright, we will let Wooly munch that down. Like I said, look forward to rehousing. Going back to the water dish now. Alright, well, we will move on to the next. Alright, this is Silva, my Nandu chromatus. Recently molted as well. So I assume this one's going to be pretty hungry. Ooh, yep, see? There we go. This one's looking awfully pretty. Almost pinstripes. But yeah, these Nandu species are great voracious eaters. Awfully pretty in my opinion as well. Yeah, that's Silva, Nandu chromatus, and we will move on. Alright, now it's time for Mr. At least I think Mr. Mole, my Brachypelma Shoderi, or Mexican black velvet. Just going to fill in some water here. Okay. Now let's put a super worm in. And we'll see if Mole is hungry here or not. Usually a pretty good eater. Oh, there we go. Also, after this previous molt, Bully's also been just like having some attitude too. See if we can see down in there. Usually don't get threat postures or anything from New Worlds too much, but yeah, Mole's been throwing up some threat postures and stuff when I try to fill up the water dish and such. So a little bit more attitude this molt. We'll see if next molt that stays the same. But yeah, that was Mole, Brachypelma schroderi, and we will move on. Alright, and now for a little bit of a surprise. This is a mature male Lasiodora parabahana, or salmon pink bird eater. My local pet shop that I go into had someone drop this guy off, saying they no longer wanted him. Said that he was dying, refusing to eat, which, you know, that kind of happens with mature males. They eventually do stop eating because they just want to reproduce. Now, first of all, I know this enclosure is too small. This is a temporary thing. Wasn't expecting to be given a very large mature male. So this will not be a permanent enclosure. But yeah, like I said, they said he was not eating and that, but I took him home, got him set up in this temporary enclosure, gave him some water, which he took to immediately. Now, you know, the pet shop that I'm talking about is not one I typically go to for tarantulas. They're just now starting to carry them, much because of my suggestion. But you know, they have mostly reptile stuff, so their knowledge is mostly with reptiles and such. So they had this guy with like a heat lamp, so I definitely recommended that they not do that. So I think he was just, and here I'll show you guys. You can see he's got a pretty good sized bald patch there. So I think he was pretty stressed out. Also, to give you guys another thing here, this is my hand next to this guy. So pretty large, but also very calm. I don't handle my tarantulas really, you guys know that, but this is one that I think that I would totally be willing to do so, because he is just super calm. But he's been eating like a champ, multiple mealworms. I'm going to go ahead and try to give him another one now, just to see. He did eat, I think, two or 3 days ago, so might not eat this one. But I am going to go ahead and put one in there and just see if he shows any interest at all. He doesn't have a name. And if anybody in, you know, locally close by or anything like that is looking for a mature male, just let me know. Yeah, looks like he might eat. Oh, he was thinking about it. You know, if I can't find anybody that needs a mature male, yeah, it looks like he is going to eat. But yeah, if I can't find anybody that needs one, see, eating like a champ. That's like his 4th or 5th mealworm in 2 weeks. If nobody needs him, I'm perfectly fine keeping him. Like I said, I think he's a cool dude. He's very chill. I haven't seen him make a sperm web yet. I do see some looks like some substrate over on the other end that he's been kind of maybe digging a bit. So maybe he has been overnight laying some sperm webs and I just haven't seen. But yeah, I wouldn't mind keeping him. Coming up with a name, getting him a little bit bigger enclosure. Because he's cool. I like him a lot. Very leggy. Always moving around, checking out things. Yeah, just overall an awesome tarantula. Kind of sad that somebody would give him up, but also kind of happy because now I have him. But if you're interested in him and want to do like a breeding project or something like that, just let me know. But yeah, we will move on. Actually, I don't think we will move on. I think that was it. I think I'm done. Oh my god, am I done? So yeah, we'll stop here. If you guys haven't already, check out my Instagram. I always post pictures. Posted this guy like a week or so ago. Check out me on Facebook. I give updates there, what's going on. T-shirts and the information down below if you're interested in a t-shirt. Yeah. More stuff, more interesting stuff other than feeding videos coming down the pipe soon. Got some cool stuff planned, but just kind of waiting for it to happen. Got the reptile show coming up in a couple weeks. Yeah, that's all I can think of. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think we should name this guy if we end up keeping him. He looks like he might do a little dance here. But yeah, we will not move on. Why I keep saying that. We'll end it here. See you guys next week. Take it easy.